Hey guys, welcome back to Revealing Biblical Truths. In this video, we'll be covering Jubilees chapters 3 and 4. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. So in the last video, we went over the first two chapters, where it talked about Creation Week and the importance of the Sabbath. The next few chapters will bring out some deep information regarding the generations from Adam to Noah. In chapter 3, it begins by saying that the angels were the ones who brought all the animals to Adam for him to name. This occurred the week after creation, and each day they brought a different group of animals. Day 1 were the beasts, day 2 the cattle, day 3 the birds, day 4 the creeping things, and on day 5 the water things. In verse 5, Yah creates woman out of Adam. This happened the 6th day of the second week. The text informs us that this was the reason why male and female children have different time periods for when a woman gives birth to them and being in an unclean state. It says that the angels brought Adam into the garden after 40 days of creation, and Eve they brought in after 80 days. And following this, it again states that this is the reason why women have two different periods for the cleansing of her blood after childbirth, 40 days for a male and 80 days for a female. The chapter then states that they were in the garden for exactly 7 years, and they were naked and not ashamed, and they had not sinned at that point. Then in the 8th year, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, is when the serpent entered the garden and tempted Eve to sin. This is interesting, as this particular day is also mentioned in Genesis as the day that Noah's flood began. Verse 28 has a shocking statement. It says that after Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden, that he closed the mouths of all the animals. And before their fall, all the animals were able to speak, and all spoke one language. And I suspect that language was Hebrew. This may seem far-fetched, but is it really? If you consider some of the stories in the Bible, this is not out of the realm of possibility. Yah opened the mouth of Balaam's donkey, for instance, and there are other creatures described in the Bible, too, as angelic in nature that speak. We have some sort of scientific knowledge that animals can sense and communicate with us, and seem to understand our words. In verse 32, it says that Adam and Eve left the garden on the 1st day of the 4th month and went back to a land called Elda, which is said to be where they were created. That's very interesting. In the Targum of Jonathan, and also the writings of Rabbi Pirk de Eliezer, and also the Jewish Midrash of Tehillim, they all claim that this land was none other than Mount Moriah in Israel, Jerusalem. It would sort of make sense that Jerusalem would be the place of creation, since the Garden of Eden was east of this, and it also seems that Yah's city is Jerusalem, both in a literal sense and as the base of the Israelites, and in a spiritual sense and end times where New Jerusalem will be where all the faithful will dwell. Going into chapter 4, it says that Eve gave birth to 3 children here. Cain was born in the 3rd week of the 2nd Jubilee, which would be from year 64 to 70 after creation, and then Abel was born in the 4th week from 71 to 77, and Awan, their sister, was born in the 5th week from the year 78 to 84. Then in the 1st year of the 3rd Jubilee, being the year 99, Cain kills Abel. Adam and Eve then mourn for Abel for 4 weeks of years, which is 28 years, 4 times 7. Then in the 4th year of the 5th week, being year 130, they have Seth. In the 6th week, they have another daughter named Azura, sometime between the years 134 to 140. All throughout the genealogies that follow, it lists very specifically when in time, meaning which week of which Jubilee these children were born. But for this video, I've only laid out the first few children to give you a basis for how the calculations were done. But the information is all in there. Now Cain takes his sister Awan to wife, and they bear Enoch. And then it says Adam and Eve had 9 more sons. Then it says Seth took his other sister Azura to wife, and they bare Enosh. Enosh then took his sister Noam, and bare Kenan. Kenan took Mualaleth, his sister, and bare Mahalaleel. Mahalaleel took Dinah, his niece, and bare Yared. It is mentioned here that it was during this time that the Watcher's angels descended, and their original intent was to teach men righteousness. It then says Yared took his niece Baraka and bare Enoch. The next several verses tell how Enoch wrote about the heavenly luminaries, the visions, and prophecy. This backs up both the biblical canon as well as the book of 1st Enoch. So Enoch then takes his niece Edna and bears Methuselah. After this, it says that Yahuwah has 4 places on earth, which are his holy places. The first is the Garden of Eden, and then the mount on the east, and then Mount Sinai and Mount Zion. We know where Mount Sinai is in Arabia, and the Garden of Eden was east of Jerusalem. Mount Zion is where Yah will dwell in the new earth, but where is this mountain in the east? I am speculating that this is the Mount of Olives, but nobody really knows. After this, Methuselah takes his niece Edna and bears Lamech, and Lamech takes his niece Betanos and bears Noah. Then Adam dies, fulfilling the prophecy that he would die the day that he ate of the fruit. And it says that the day represents 1,000 years, and since Adam didn't reach 1,000 years, he died on that prophetic day. The chapter ends by saying that Noah took his niece Zara to wife, and she bare him Shem, Ham, and Japhet. Next time on Revealing Biblical Truths, we'll be going into chapters 5 and 6 and discussing the flood of Noah and the calendar. Thanks for watching. Till next time, Shalom.